And welcome back to the live coverage of the Simply Race British Championships. I'm Ben Taylor, and joined with me is Shamek Glodek, who's just been racing against me in the SRTCC. Had a little incident on the warm-up lap, but I think we kissed and
I was warming your tyres up.
You were warming your tyres up, and I happened to be alongside you at the time.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to another action-packed Clio race. We had a very dramatic race earlier on. I don't know how much you caught of it, Shamek, but there was a lot of close racing, really close lap times. There were also a lot of contact as well, and race director Michael Yao has had a very serious talk to the drivers. Let's have a talk about your SRTCC endeavours so far today. How are you getting on?
Yeah, it was alright.
It's the first time you're driving the Focus. Or did you race last round?
I've done the last round.
You did the last round.
I've done the last round. I'm not going to talk about that one.
Yeah.
First time out in Thruxton.
Yeah.
In practice.
Have you raced in Thruxton in real life yet? Or
no, not yet. I would like to.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Flat out.
In a metro.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly.
How many of them will blow up?
Most of them. I thought they were all going to blow up when you guys did the Grand Prix Circuit. For those of you who don't know, Shamek races in the MG Metro Series. Along with Jack Ashton as well, who's one of the drivers in this series as well.
He's doing better than me. He's a lot quicker.
Yeah, more experience. Shamek's only
got
recently taken up racing and doing pretty well. A couple of podiums this year, is that right? Or rookie podiums or something?
Fourth and fifth so far.
Fourth and fifth, or close to the podium.
And a DNF, yeah.
Oh yes.
First DNF.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of my race career.
But not bad for
no.
your second year.
Yeah, today's been good so far.
Yeah.
First race started 13th, finished 6th. Second race 6th, finished 8th.
Okay.
Had a bit of a contact.
Who was that with?
Someone
me on
Ben?
No, not in the race. In the warm-up lap, yeah. We hit each other.
No, I've done a few mistakes. Someone got a 100-metre board on the first.
Yeah, who hit that?
I don't know.
I'm going to hunt down that person.
A few times
that
someone
100-metre board is the board for that corner. And you're like, well, it's fallen over, so how far back is it moved? And you're trying to work it out.
I was trying to work it out, like 100, 200 between, and I missed it a few times, went straight on. But yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, that race was really good for me as well.
I think.
I mean, it wasn't.
What was your tyres like?
They were awful. There were 10% left at the end.
10?
Yeah, what did you have?
18.
That was more than me.
Yeah.
I was 3 seconds off the pace at the end. I was struggling to get to the finishing line.
I don't know how Lewis does it.
Yeah, he was saying that he had 60% or something ridiculous. I had 60% left after 5 laps or something. Oh no, how am I going to get to the end? After you hit me out on the warm-up lap, I didn't have much left.
So what, we got Clios now, yeah?
Yeah, we do, yeah. I think they're just lining up on the grid. We're just checking that all of the pods are ready. There's the venue cam, so you can see the place that's in the venue at Simply Race. There's Ben Manguer, one of our assistant race directors, running to loo before the start of the race, by those things. And the Clios always provide really close racing.
Yeah, they look like good fun. I was going to give it a go.
Yes.
It's good setup.
I wish I could have a go at this particular series, because it's so close. And if you think we saw some really good racing in the SRTCC all year, we've seen amazing racing in this particular category as well. So do stay with us.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little post on Facebook at the same time. Make sure we get lots of viewers to watch this entertaining event happen. We will be watching the comments on YouTube and Facebook throughout. I believe we're also simultaneously going to Twitch as well on the Virtual Entertain page. However, we're not monitoring those at all, so if you're on there, then you might need to switch. If you're on Facebook, well worth going over to the YouTube stream. It's at 1080p and 60 frames per second, so higher quality as we see the drivers start to warm up. So Harold, our race winner, starting from pole. He's won every race he's done so far in the Clio Cup Series, and he's now joint championship leader with Prescott, who's starting last, so the other end of the
what happened
grid.
To Prescott in the race 1?
Sorry?
What happened to Prescott?
Prescott finished second in the last one. Yeah, he started last, finished second. Harold started first, finished first. So unfortunately Prescott wasn't able to do the qualifying session. So he's got all this work to do going forward.
So he loads of new names. I don't know most of that grid apart from Prescott.
Well, you're about to find out more about them as they line up on the grid now. And last few drivers, Eccles at the back, and there are a couple of others. I think we're still waiting for Prescott to come out the final corner, actually.
It's quite hard lining up on that grid.
Okay then, so...
someone's
missed their grid slot. I'm not sure who that is. I don't know if they've got it now. It's
so tight when
it is.
When you line up, when it tells you to line up, and sometimes you can be literally like a metre away from someone's bumper.
Looks like we're good to go there. We can see the green flags, and it's just about to wave, and away we go. So a poor start again from, I think that's Jax. No, Harold with poor start. Yeah. Curry gets away well again. Are we going to see a repeat of the first race today where there was some contact at turn 2, but they all seem to have got through one successfully? We head towards the chicane, and this is where the drama happened last time. Hard on the brakes from all the drivers. Are there any last minute dives from anyone? Not this time. They've had a really serious word from the race director, and they seem to be behaving themselves thus far. So it's Jax followed by Curry, Harold, Bittencourt, then Brown. So a lot of Force India in that top 5, and they head towards the back of the circuit now, and good lead for Jax then, as he looks to take his first victory. Harold will be keen to extend his winning streak, and I believe the two of them competed together in the Simply Race Endurance Series last weekend. Ben Brown, of course, a big fan favourite, and he is looking to continue a good run of results as well, although last time out in the Clios he ended up pitting for tyres after a few incidents. And this is Prescott, who's already made his move up into 9th, and he's looking up the inside and up the front. This is Ben Brown pressurising.
Someone's cut the chicane.
Someone's cut the chicane. I think that was Harold cutting the chicane. Or maybe it was Bittencourt. It was one of those two HJM, very colourful pink, orange and white, blue, whatever cars.
White as well.
Yeah, there's lots of colours going on. And one real big thing about this circuit is there's a lot of drafting available in this particular spec series in the Clios. So cutting in behind someone can really give you a big boost down the straights. And these two teammates are going hammer and tong at it at the moment, and it's Harold in front of Bittencourt, then Brown. So Brown is a car we're focusing on, but lots of battling happening between those teammates in front as well. Robertson is behind Whedon, that's the white car, and he'll be looking to move forward. He's a strong contender in this championship as well. With the blue cars, that's how we know the difference.
Prescott's coming down as well. Prescott's coming.
Yeah, so Prescott is moving forward. He's oh no! That's Ben Brown! Oh, Ben Brown is upside down, spinning through the air. Oh, that's a big one, and it's not. That is a great shot. I mean, not pretty unfortunate for Ben Brown.
Quality.
I'm not sure what happened there. There's obviously someone tagged him sideways, and once you get hit at 100 something miles an hour, it's not, your car isn't long for the ground, is it? And up the inside then, that goes Bittencourt up the inside of Harold. Harold moves down to 4th, but gets a good run out of this chicane. He does seem to cut the inside a little bit, so he might get a track limits from race control as we move to the shaky camp.
They're really harsh today on a track limit.
It's good. Yeah. It makes you really think about that last chicane, because it is very easy to be quite lazy.
Jack Ashton found out in a race one by having a drive for a penalty.
He was the guinea pig that got the first penalty. And I don't think anyone else has got any penalties since then, because everyone else is a bit scared of it. And Harold then pushing forward. Here's a replay. So what happens to Ben Brown? Oh, he gets on the grass. See one wheel on the grass, spins out in front. What an amazing picture this is. And then he gets hit at 100 and something miles an hour by one of the Whedons. I can't remember which Whedon is. James Whedon, I think, but wow, what a big one. It's a good job it's not real.
Yeah.
I'm sure though Ben Brown would be just as disappointed as if it was real, and he has to continue on now, and he's now 15 seconds adrift of any other drivers as we watch Bittencourt and Harold go into the final chicane. Harold looking up the inside, not able to do it, or is he? Goes for another go at it, sideways, hard on the brakes, wearing out those front tyres, and he's going to get probably another track limits warning, I would have thought. Not sure what race control will say about that, but he completed the move quite successfully. And further up the field, Oh no, sorry, further down the field then. This is now Robertson pushing Bittencourt. So Robertson's looking to take advantage of possibly a slightly wounded Bittencourt. And this is that Harry Whedon? I think it is. No, I'm not sure though. Who's that? Who are they behind? That's one of the HJK cars. So not sure on that one. That must be Harry Whedon. So maybe Scott Woodward is in the wrong car. And so that's something for us to consider. He's in the wrong car. Scott Woodward, he's down in 8th place at the moment. Robertson is in 5th place. He's 7/10 of a second behind Bittencourt. And we are on lap 4 of 18. A much tamer race so far for the Clio Cups from the one we saw earlier on in the afternoon. They are still lapping quite cleanly. You can see all of the top drivers in one picture. And this must be Woodwiss. And Clumpers misses the chicane, so Clumpers is going to get a track limits warning, I'm sure, but he also loses out a position. And Clumpers moves down to 8th place, and Harry Whedon is now right on the back of him as well. So will Whedon make his move at turn 2? And this is a side-by-side battle between Robertson and Bittencourt. All about the exit between this last corner, don't you find? I think if you can make a huge mistake, not even a huge mistake, sorry, you can just get on the power just a little bit late and you see the time disappear. Especially
when your tyres are really down and there's no 100 metre board to tell you when to brake.
I think we've still got 100 metre board for this race, which is nice to see.
The guys got a bit easier than us.
They do, yeah. Guessing into turn 2 isn't fun. That's one of the. I think that's a harder braking point than the other one. As we see Harry Whedon make a move, and Robertson's also looking at. This is another battle. This is the battle for 4th position. And here's the background picture of Woodwiss, who was a race winner in the F2000 category just 2 races ago. So in the single seaters, and he's trying his hand at Clio's. This one is actually competing in all 3 series today. Oh, there's a big squeeze. There was a bit of a squeeze there from, I think that was Woodwiss.
He just came back on the track without looking.
I think Woodwiss coming back on the track unsafely probably end up being penalised, I should say, by the race directors. They're now looking at it as we speak. We've got a replay coming up for you. This is Harry Whedon. There's actually both Whedons who have benefited from that collision. Here is the replay. So there was space, and then it all of a sudden sort of closed up, I'd say.
It looked like there was space. I would have gone for it as well.
It is difficult because you know that track is disappearing because you've got a right. It sort of juts out slightly before the right. I would argue possibly that Scott Woodwiss. Well, first of all, he squeezed the driver on the braking zone.
I'm not sure why he was going so far to the right of the track at this moment when he was rejoining, because he's got a left-hander. You know, the chicane. He could have stayed on the left.
Exactly, and that unsafe rejoin will also be looked at by race control as well. So here we are then on lap number 7 of 18. That one collision so far, and of course the slight slip up from Brown at the start where we collided one of the Whedons. This is the battle for 3rd place. We've got Harold, who's now really starting to gain on Curry in 2nd. Harold are he's only done. He actually missed a round, but he's now joint leader of the championship. He's won every single Clio race he's done. And the moment he's down in 3rd place.
He'll be trying to push it for the win again.
Absolutely. He's really starting to push John Curry. John Curry, who seems to have these mega starts, gets himself into a fantastic position. But Harold must be a bit of a front-wheel drive specialist by the look of this pace. And he comes
really closing on him now.
Comes through Church, fastest corner on the circuit, and a bit of a dip. He's got a good run. He's looking up the inside. He's just about got a bit of his car alongside him, so entitled to some space. Hard on the brakes as he overshot it. No. Very well slowed down, and slight cut of the track there. And but he does make a really nice move there. And up into second place for Harold. He's now going to be chasing down his teammate. Yeah, so this is Robertson. Yeah, so Robertson's the 130 racing car with the blue wheels, and then you've got Prescott, who's got the pink wheels.
It's confusing.
Yeah, I like the wheels design. The pink wheels are great.
They have different mirrors as well.
Yes.
Have they?
That,
no, they haven't.
No, maybe not. I thought they did.
Dropped back a little bit now.
Yeah, and actually looking at the timing gaps, Curry's still sticking with Harold as well. Who is this? This is Eccles, Woodwiss and Eccles. So Woodwiss recovering after his collision with a couple of different cars. He's now pushing that yellow car of Jason Eccles around the back side of the circuit and come round Village into Church.
Have Clio's got tyre wear as well?
Yes, there is tyre wear on, yeah, absolutely. Lots of cut track there, and but actually Curry is now ahead of Harold, so I think we missed most of that action, but you can see the result. Curry is up into second place, and here is Scott Woodwiss trying to go around the outside. Not able to do it this time round. He gets hard on the gas, and maybe he's got a good enough run to be entitled to some room up into the first corner. I think he has actually completed it before turn 1, so good exit, and that shows the power of a good exit out of that chicane. We are on lap 9 of 18, halfway through, and it's Jax leading by 1.8 seconds. That gap has come down slightly, so Curry and Harold are starting to hurry Jax up, or maybe Jax is struggling with tyre wear a little bit. Try and see if we can get some lap time information whilst that loads. Let's have a look through the rest of the field.
It's good packs, you know, you can see on the
yeah, top 5 are all very close together, aren't they?
6 and 7. The 8, Whedon is on his own, just coming to that sector 9, back straight, and you got a 9 to 12, which they're trying to get close to each other.
So
it's good racing.
Yeah,
really.
3 distinct packs, I think, and 1 solo runner.
Yeah.
But certainly lots of close racing still happening up and down the field. And this is Harold pushing again on Curry, and he's going to have to try and make that move again. And they come into turn 1. He's actually left the door open, and bouncing over the curbs goes Harold. He completes the move though. Well done from Harold. I think it was a bit of a last-ditch effort, but Curry was respectful enough to leave enough room for that that pass to happen without any dramas between the two of them.
He's going to try to push it to get the leader, which is about 2.3 seconds away. Yeah,
so there's sort of fighting between these two guys has allowed Jax to open up the lead just a little bit. 2.2 seconds with 8 laps remaining. They're on lap 10 of 18 as we speak. I'm not sure if Curry's quite done. He's still just 0.3 of a second behind our race leader. One thing is, any Ben Brown fans watching, just 0.3 of a second behind Eccles. He was miles back from everyone after that big flip at the beginning. He's now actually looking to take 11th place, so maybe we'll be able to catch some of that. But he is still going and moving. Oh, here we go. Here is Ben Brown, that car that we saw flying through the air a little bit earlier on. He goes to the outside of the Lush. No, it's not Lush chicane at all. It's Church. So not the right line round there, but he managed to keep it on the track, and that's the important thing. Fastest man on circuit at the moment is Bittencourt. So Bittencourt in 4th place, starting to catch the battling Harold and Curry. So maybe he'll get onto the podium for this race. So his lap was a 1:20.094 on the last lap of this race. So really good to see that lap time with the tyre wear coming halfway through the race. he's obviously doing quite a good job of mastering that circuit and getting into a rhythm around Thruxton. The Thruxton in particular is one that you really seem to need a rhythm and keep that momentum up around this such a high speed circuit. And Brown goes to the outside. He's going to try and cut back. He's going to cut back and he's going to be on the outside for the next corner. No, maybe he doesn't. He's not able to do that then. He heads in towards Noble. And then we've got this long right-hander at Goodwood. This is where we see people wash out. I myself did that earlier on when I was following Mr. Boyce. It's really hard to see the exit when there's someone in front of you, so you have to trust that they are going to stay on the circuit too. And
I've done it and ended up on the grass.
Did you? You follow someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. Good. Once you start losing that front left tyre, easy to wash out, and certainly if you're... Oh, this is this is the battle for 9th and 10th place. We've got Woodwist behind Clumpers. They've already had a coming together today. Are they going to have another one? Not yet, hopefully. And they come through the final chicane again to start their 12th lap. And Ben Brown does seem to have completed that move into 11th place. He's going to push on now, see if he can make any more positions up on Woodwist and Clumpers. Robertson elsewhere, actually. I wonder if we can cut to that production team, because he seems to be pretty close to Harry Weed. And there he is. And that blue-wheeled car... Where's Prescott? Prescott's moved up to 5th. When did that happen? I didn't even notice it. So
Prescott's doing really
Prescott,
good.
yeah, he's done well from the back. He's probably not as high as he would like to be, but he might have been held up in the midfield. Curry's also very close to Harold again, actually. That's another battle to keep our eyes on. Here goes Robertson, though. They go through Church. Oh, this is Woodwist and Clumpers. And we're now back to Robertson and Whedon. Robertson goes to the outside. He's going to have to do something pretty special around the outside here. Does he get on the brakes later? He does get on the brakes later. He's able to slow it down. He's got the apex for the second part of the chicane. I'm not sure if he just cut a little bit too much the inside there, but really good move around the outside. Yeah. Fantastic move from Robertson. He does well. Clumpers proving that he's a little bit of an immovable object at the moment for Woodwist, keeping him under wraps for 9th position. They come across the start-finish line to start their 13th lap. Curry's dropped off slightly at the front as well from Harold, but every so often he does seem to get a bit of a run and move back up into within a few tenths, so we'll certainly keep an eye on that one. This is Woodwist then still. I know it says Harold on the side of just...
I was just getting confused with
that. Yeah, I had to excuse that. I think they've, unfortunately, the race control team have accidentally put him in the wrong skin for today. Well, just for this race. So Woodwist is the car behind here, and that's definitely Clumpers in front. I promise you 100%. So ignore the skin. And here is Robertson actually under pressure again from Whedon. I thought that he'd got that tied up, but Whedon's going to the outside. He's going to out Robertson, or is he? No, he's not. Robertson managed to brake just about late enough, and I think by the looks of the way he entered that corner, Robertson's going to start struggling with his front left tyre, because he's had quite a lot of lock going on whilst on the brakes, and that, as I know from experience,
4 laps already,
can really do your tyres over. They've got 4 laps remaining then. Woodward's still piling on the pressure, and still not able to find a way through. This is a great battle though between Whedon and Robertson. The two of them are nose to tail as they come out of Seagrave and head towards Noble. This for me is the trickiest section. Flat out through the left-hander Noble, and then Goodwood, the right-hander here. How much do you lift? How much? Oh, and Robertson, I'm not sure if he meant to leave that much gap, but he has. And he's still just got a nose ahead. And are they going to go side by side through Church, the fastest corner on the circuit, as we cut away to the battle for 2nd and 3rd place? Harold, sorry, the 1st and 2nd place. So Harold makes a move up the inside, and that was unexpected. There was quite a big gap between the two of them, and all of a sudden, Harold is now in the lead. And here's Robertson. There's too much going on for us to look at, as Robertson manages to just about retain his place as they complete lap 14 and start their 15th tour of the circuit. So not sure what happened to Jax, but and this is the battle between Woodwiss, Ben Brown and Erwin Clumpers. Erwin Clumpers, I think, has lost 2 places in one go, or has he? Ben Brown looking round the outside then of turn 1. It's a bold move to take him, bold place to take, making a place. He stays round the outside. They're still side by side as they head towards the first chicane on the lap.
He's done it.
Who's going to break latest?
Ooh.
Clumpers does, but I think he's slightly overshot it. Cut back from Ben Brown. Very nice cut back. Is he going to cut back again? He goes for the second cut back. And all about the exit from here. And I think Clumpers has got the place back. But has Ben Brown got the momentum? As we see Harold and Jax go nose to tail again. And they're heading into the final chicane. This is for the race lead on lap 15. And Jax not able to make his move back into the lead just now yet. And they come across the line to start their penultimate lap. Here is Robertson defending in that blue car. Ooh, a little bit of elbows out. And Robertson does lose that position then to Whedon, I think, yeah, so Harry Whedon. So
see Brown trying to,
and this is Ben Brown. So Ben Brown going round the outside again. This is where all the action is on this last chicane. A little bit of tyre smoke there. I don't think there's anything too dramatic happening. And Ben Brown has now got 2 laps to get his move done, and a good recovery, even if it's just a couple of places after a big second lap incident for him. I think it might have been first lap, actually. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. First or second lap incident for him. Robertson probably not going to give up, though. He's only 4/10 of a second. This is Robertson and Harry Whedon for 6th and 7th place. And they come towards Church. Oh, bold move at the inside from Robertson. That's an unexpected move, and he actually makes that move stick before Church. So maybe Whedon got a bit of a poor exit from the previous corner, which is Goodwood. Pulls out the slipstream and nicely makes a move, and actually gets a few tenths out of it as well. So he's got a gap of 1.1 seconds now between the two of them. And this is our battle for the lead then. This is now the penultimate lap. I think I might have previously called it wrong. So penultimate lap between Harold and Jax. And there's a lot going on because Ben Brown is now side by side again with Erwin Clumpers. Last chicane almost touching, not quite. I think Ben Brown has to cut across the grass because if he didn't, he would have had his nose chopped off by the recovering Clumpers there. So smart driving from them. They won't receive a penalty for something like that.
See Howard's got a best lap, 1:19.966.
Wow, so mega lap from Howard there, 19.967. There was a few laps ago, that one. That was his best lap. His last lap was in 1:20.22.99.
So still low 20s.
Yeah, he is still the fastest man out on circuit though. So Harold looking to extend his lead. Curry actually.
So on lap 17.
Looking a little bit closer. This is Clumpers, Brown and Eccles again. So this is the battle of 10th, 11th and 12th place. So even at the back of the field, still plenty of action going on this penultimate lap. And they, Ben Brown looking very aggressive as they head into Church. This is Church now through the right-hander, dips down, and you'll be very brave to hold the outside, and Clumpers he does a great job of holding that position, and actually Ben Brown is looking really slow as they head down the straight, and this may open the door for Jason Eccles. Eccles in his bright yellow, almost safety car looking car, heads up the inside of Ben Brown. Ben Brown is not having any of it. Oh, they touch a little bit, and Ben Brown is able to continue nicely, but actually that's given a little bit of breathing space to Clumpers. This is the battle then for second as we are on the final lap of the race, and Curry has had a strong comeback and he's now looking to take second place from Jax as they head through Church Corner, up down the long straight, and then they're to Wooden Hill on the club chicane. To the outside goes Curry. Who's going to break latest? It's Jax. who's going to be neatest. It's Jax as well, and Jax is able to, looks like he's able to retain his position. There's a checker flag going out, flashing lights from Harold, consecutive wins from him, and just a couple of tenths across the line, or less than a tenth I think across the line between Jax and Curry. So great battle from them. Bittencourt comes home in 4th, he was faster out, and Prescott just missing out on 4th place and comes home in 5th.
Done well coming from 12th.
He has indeed, and Robertson ends up 6th. Harry Whedon is 7th, so Robertson was in front of Whedon in the end after that epic battle between the two of them. James Whedon in 8th place, Woodwiss in 9th place, and we're just waiting for Clumpers, Eccles and Brown to cross the line, and here they go. Oh, there's some contact, and I think Jason Eccles is kindly letting Clumpers back through. I think that he realised he had a little bit of contact there. So no, it was a great battle.
Brown, I think, lost it. Look.
Yes, I think Brown dropped off just right at the end there, so I'm not sure what happened to Brown, but here we are, we're back on the screen now. So what a fantastic race. I enjoyed that.
Good.
There was so much to look at. It was really struggle for the production team and the camera guys to really focus on the right thing at the right time. There was only 12 cars.
A lot going on.
12 cars racing, but there was too many battles happening to really focus on. We're going to grab some of the, well, in fact we're going to grab the top 3 drivers. Oh, is this a replay? So this is, where is this? This is a chicane. Side by side, Ben Brown and Jason Eccles. Ooh. I'd need to start from another angle, that I think. So seems unfortunate. There was certainly
race control will look into that.
There was certainly space for Ben Brown on the right hand side, but it depends on how much Jason Eccles in the yellow car moved across, whether there was still space for his car, because if you're Ben Brown you've still got to leave space for Jason Eccles' yellow car, but you know, if there's enough space for Jason Eccles' car, then
it looks like he moved over, washing out.
It depends on who moved where, really, I think, and that's for race control to decide. We're going to grab the top 3 drivers for an interview. Do bear with us just a few moments whilst we grab those people, so we'll take a very short, quick break. So welcome back to the live stream of the Simply Race British Championship. Just watched a really fantastic Clio race, and we've managed to pick up our 3rd place driver, John Curry, who joins us, I think, for the first time with this headset, at least, by the looks of things.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
And we're going to have a quick chat about your race. So,
indeed.
How'd you get on?
Well, a bit like the first race, I got a really good launch. Certainly got my starts in the Clio nailed, but unfortunately Francis, he bogged down the first time, and I was able to go through the middle and get the lead at the start.
Yeah.
And this time he was so slow off the start line, I had to had to go quite hard left to get around him, and that meant that I lost a bit of momentum. And then after that, sort of settled down, made sure I left I left some space in race 1, but I left even more space in race 2 going into Campbell, the first part of the complex. And after that, survived the first few corners, unlike in race 1, and then just sort of tried to settle down and chase Cyril, who was leading the race. And we were sort of matching each other 10 for 10, and Francis had to go at me into the chicane on, I think it was the first lap, and I knew as soon as I braked that there was no way he was going to make the corner. But then I think he got back fighting with Eduardo, I think, for a few laps, and I was hoping he'd be held up for a bit longer. And then when he came through the second time, I knew he didn't have that much more pace than me, but it was easier to follow than to be chased in a way, because you can just stay in this slipstream, and so it just makes it a little bit easier. And I was hoping to be close enough that when Francis got to Cyril, I was hoping that he would be I'd be close enough to capitalise on anything that happened, but unfortunately, although I think there were 2 laps they were fighting into the chicane, I couldn't quite get close enough. And then with about 2 laps to go, I was catching Cyril quite quickly, and on the last lap I had a big run on him. I knew from the exit of the complex come the chicane I was going to be right with him, and I had to go down the outside, but I knew in race 1 I had to go down the outside, and it didn't go particularly well. And I just thought I'd try to just break at my normal point and see if I could sort of unsettle him a bit and get the run going to the line, and nearly worked.
Close. It was really close. It was probably about 10th in it at the line, I think. So,
absolutely.
But yeah, really good run for you. Were you struggling with tyre wear? That's been the big thing today for most people.
Yeah, it was okay really. I think I knew in the race 1 where certainly after all the various escapades I had, the last 2 laps were a bit of a struggle, but I was still sort of in the 20s, I think, percentage-wise. So I was reasonably hopeful that in race 2, because we had a clean start and I wasn't sort of having too many moments, I sort of got to a point where I sort of stopped looking at the tyre gauge and was just looking at the gap and sort of trying to get myself past Cyril basically for most of the race. But
it was certainly a cleaner race than we had last time round.
The first race was just I got hit at the first corner.
It was a little bit messy.
I got hit at the first corner, and then I think the problem is with Thruxton, you end up getting so much momentum, and it's sometimes easy to misjudge when someone's got a run on you. And if you move over suddenly, mayhem ensues. It was quite
very clear in your intentions the whole time.
Absolutely, and with when Francis sort of dive bombed a few times, I just sort of let him go really, because it's better to live 5 for another day
absolutely.
rather than.
There's always an opportunity later in the race to make that place back up.
Exactly. So the first race was, I knew from the first corner, I thought, well, I got the start, got into the lead, thought, great, this is looking good. Turned into the first corner, oh dear.
Yes.
And then it was a bit of a battle to fight back through the field. But
did you get an apology for that one?
I did get an apology. Eduardo was very apologetic after that, which was nice of him. And ultimately, it's a first corner incident. And in this race, I just decided to just give a bit. Well, I left a little bit of space, but I left even more space this time, and did a full sort of Ezra's type approach in terms of just don't get involved in any incidents and just live to fight for another day. So it was another good race, and certainly the top 3 were all very evenly matched for I think the whole race, and it just meant it was very intense as always, and but hopefully put on a good show for everyone.
Absolutely, it definitely was. It was almost too much to watch, so comment down. No, I'm kidding. It was really good and really great to have you in the in the series, John. So thank you very much.
Very good,
if we can have a chat hopefully with who was second? Francis, wasn't it? Oh no, sorry, Cyril. Cyril was second. So would you mind grabbing Cyril for me? That'd be fantastic. I'm not sure if we've got a huge amount of time before the next race. It sounds like they're getting ready, so we'll keep it nice and short with our next 2 drivers. So hello, how are we doing? Do you want to just grab that for me? We'll keep it really short because we're running out of time before the next race. The guys are being too efficient behind us. But how was your race?
It was a good race.
Yeah?
I was pretty angry after the first race.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do well.
Yeah.
Had a good start and thought I was going to win, but
Yeah.
then Francis was very quick behind.
Yeah.
made. just
Were
mistakes.
there any mistakes at all that allowed him to gain that
Yeah,
gap? Because we
I was
kind
looking
of
at
missed
him,
that.
and I
Sorry?
was looking at him, and he was trying to gain
Ah,
back,
okay.
and then I
And you,
lost around the second on one lap, and then he was in my slipstream, and
yeah, sure.
I didn't want to block him because we kind of
No.
teammates, even though they were teammates.
We don't want to have teammates taking each other off, do we? So, but generally your pace was really good. I mean, you got away really nicely, and then it was, I guess, for you just kind of look after the tyres and all that kind of stuff.
I think I didn't do well on that.
You didn't
My
do well.
tyre
on
was
that.
quite
Okay.
awful at the end.
Oh right. Okay. Well, it sounds like my experience in the touring cars. I think I had 10% left at the end.
Oh.
I was 3
was
seconds a
pretty
lap
close
slower.
to
But yeah, it's certainly key around Thruxton. What do you think about Thruxton as a circuit?
It's a
First
really
time
good one.
race it, or?
We did the Lamborghini GT3 once there.
Ah, okay,
during
yeah.
the Sprint Limited. I like the track.
It's
Good
it's
one.
an interesting one. The momentum is so important, and certainly in the front wheel drive, it's quite tough.
Yeah, but it's fun to drive as well.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. And so, where did you come in the first race? Actually,
10th.
10th in the first race. We'll have to see if you.
Yeah, I got taken out a bit and got
Ah,
penalized
okay.
as well. So
Disappointing.
I was kind of training for the second race.
Yeah, okay, but a good second race and maybe some points. You could. There's still a possibility you could get on the podium. They add the points together. It's
Yeah.
overall across the
I
two
need to
races.
do one good weekend together now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. I'm going to cut it short just because I think
Yeah,
that
sure.
they're getting ready. But
Gonna
if
grab
you wouldn't mind grabbing Francis for his 6th successive victory speech. No problem. Francis, hello. Another win.
That was a
Oh,
bit
tough.
more eventful than the last one, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Oh, another terrible start.
Yeah,
as expected.
you almost need to come in just to practice the
Yeah,
starts.
spend an hour just doing starts. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm ridiculously bad at them. Like, I'm giving myself so much more work than I need to just because I can't get off the line. Like, I think in Brand I went down like 7th on the
Wow.
first one, so at least I'm only
It's
going down
almost
to 3rd or
impressive.
4th now.
It's almost impressive how far down you
Yeah,
go.
I know. It's just that I just see the lights and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then I'm like, oh, I haven't switched off to first. Like,
Oh, nice.
just
Is
sat
that
there
what
like-
happened today?
Yeah, I just sat there just like, oh, come on, that's a bit
Right, why am
stupid.
I not moving anywhere?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm not in
So
gear.
I gave myself so much work to do already. Yeah, first lap behind John. I was like, I need to make progress. Let's just dive in and see. But way too late on the brakes and just
Yeah.
like, had to give the position back. And then Eduardo got me as well. So
Yeah,
it was. Then I was like, oh, I've really got work to do now. Cyril's 3-4 seconds up the road, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna, probably not gonna catch that up. And just pegging away at it lap by lap. Just it didn't feel like there was about 5 laps. I was pretty sure I didn't catch anything on either of them, and it was just like, oh, the third is the best I'm gonna do. And then they both just made tiny little mistakes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they were saying.
the first braking zone and then that complex is so crucial for just carrying the speed around, especially in the Clios, because there's no braking until the
Yeah.
final chicane. You just gotta nail it, and I wouldn't have caught Cyril if he didn't make that mistake on the third last lap.
yeah.
So I'm glad he got there, and he gave me like a lot of room on the inside.
He
which
was saying he didn't want
uh,
the two of you to come together as teammates.
yeah,
It
exactly.
Wouldn't look
like,
good.
Yeah, I mean, I took out Eduardo in Brands, so so you know, it's
It's nice to not have.
I've got a bit of reputation now between them. They're like, yeah, stay away from him. So
Is that why he gave you so much
yeah,
room then?
exactly. But yeah, I didn't think I was going to win that, to be honest. I was like,
Another
but
victory, another podium, another
Yeah,
trophy.
It
Take
was
home.
yeah, it was nice to come back from that. But yeah, looking forward to the next one now. It's Croft, is it, or is it
Yes.
Elton Park next?
Oh, it is Alton. Right,
yeah.
sorry, yeah, no, you're
That'd be a
right.
good
It's
track,
Alton
yeah.
Park. Yeah, it'd be really good for the Clios around there, I think.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah, it
really
should be
interesting
fun.
to see. Brilliant. Well, thanks very much.
Awesome.
I'm
That's
going
all
to be a little bit shorter than usual because the team have been really quick at getting through into the next round, and we are just about to start the F2000 races. So thank you very much, Francis. We'll see you on the podium in a bit. Oh, you've got to run. Someone else is going to collect your trophy. Fair enough. Not a problem. We'll see you at the next round for sure. Brilliant stuff. As I thank producer Dean for my hydration. As you pass me a drink. And we've got my colleague Darren Kirk. There he is in the Virtual Entertain car. They're on the warm-up lap at the moment. So this is the penultimate race today. Just one single-seater race and then one touring car race to go, and then we'll see the podium presentations. The F2000 race last time out was a cracking one, actually. Woodwist took that one, and he's actually starting on pole here, and I'm now joined by Mr. Ashton, Mr. Jack Ashton. How are you?
Hello. I thought I'd join you again for this race.
Yeah, but it's nice to have you back.
It was a good race
My
last time.
voice is starting to hurt.
Oh, is it? I'll try and do more than a commentary.
As we see the guys line up on the grid, we've got shaky cam in full effect.
Is that like the helicopter camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Virtual shaking going on.
Looks like someone's set a smoke bomb off in the
Yeah,
crowd
I
as
think
well.
there's a bonfire on the right hand side. And I think we're all in position. We'll see the marshals on the left hand side raise their green flag, and they do now. As soon as they drop it, we're underway. Revs rise, and away we go. So good start from Brown on the outside, I think, but even better from Balding on the second row in that green machine.
That's to hold off from trying to dive through the middle. That wouldn't have worked.
No, absolutely. Balding goes to the outside and now the inside for turn number 2. Also following him is Hardwick, who had a bit of an up and down second race. There's lots of side-to-side contact. And Ben Brown loses out, and he moves down into 5th place. Kirk is at the inside of him into the right-hander. And do they rub each other's doors?
Yes.
There's a big accident behind. I think that happened when Kirk went up the inside of Brown, and Brown still turned in for the corner. There was definitely space, an opportunity to do so. For race control, have a look at it. Although Kirk was fully on the curb on the inside.
Colin's got away lightly, I think.
Yeah,
moved up to 5th.
Yeah, this is Colin Talbot then, 5th place. He's really made the most of that incident. He'll be quite happy to see himself in 5th place at this point. He was leading the first race. Here's a replay of that big incident. On board then with Darren Kirk. He sees an opportunity. He's definitely alongside the car, and Ben Brown turns in, and around everyone goes, because once you're going hundreds of miles an hour.
I think there's a couple of others back there as well. He's in the background.
Yeah, I think they were kind of trying to avoid or got distracted by the incident in front. I'm not sure, but certainly a few drivers out of position now. We're going to be having to see how they come back from here. Lap 2 then, Woodwist leads Balding by 0.7 of a second. Another 0.9 of a second behind him is Hardwick. Then we've got a 1 second gap to Hedges, 1.5 seconds back to Talbot, another 2 seconds to Eccles, Brown, Clumpers.
Eccles has done well there out of that.
He has, yeah, he's really profited.
Back, hasn't he?
I'm sure he'll be happy with a 6th place. He was up in 2nd place. Was it the Clios earlier on, I think? And unfortunately ended up with a bit of contact and ended up quite a bit further down. But he is doing well to be in 6th place at the moment. Here's another replay. It's Ben Brown.
He's
just gone wide, hasn't he?
Oh, he's going to spin as well. That's not going to help him.
He's had a couple of big crashes there today. I don't know if you saw his Clio crash earlier on.
Yes, I did.
Flip.
The big roll. That was quite spectacular.
And this is Hardwick then. So, this is really close. So 0.1 of a second between Hardwick. Yeah, 2nd place. Hardwick pushing hard and Balding. Hardwick looks up the inside. Maybe it's a bit of a dummy. And slightly compromised Hardwick's exit. 0.4 of a second between them now. Balding's teammate Hedges is just behind.
Teamwork maybe coming into place here with these two.
I think all of this battling though is leaving Talbot as well the opportunity to close in, and Woodwist certainly the opportunity to get away a little bit. 0.2 of a second, 2 seconds ahead of Balding now.
Yeah, another close battle on track I think is Kirk on Clumpers. He's not far behind.
Big sideways moment.
As we see, Kirk going a bit sideways there now.
I don't think Kirk likes those tyres. He's sort of pushed them to the extreme.
I think he's got a bit of anger in him as well after that crash earlier. And here's Hardwick on Balding.
Defensive. Yeah.
Balding very defensive. Quick entry to the corner. Looks like Hardwick's going to get a quick exit.
Really good exit.
Quite stable between the two.
Yeah, 0.3 of a second as they cross the line then and start lap 4. Already a 5th of the way through that. Through the race.
Hardwick almost collecting the grass there. As soon as you touch a wheel on that grass, that's game over, really.
Yeah, we saw that in the first race with Talbot, who was leading at the time, and he was under pressure from Woodwist and just got one wheel on the grass and around he went. And unfortunately went downhill from there for him.
Just seeing there, Hardwick taking a lot of curve compared to Baldwin, but no real time gained or lost. It was very even Stevens through there.
Trying to think about your tactics for the next race then, Jack.
Yeah, well, possibly.
So 0.2 of a second, and clearly Hardwick is in the slipstream now, and they go through Church.
Smoother line from Baldwin and Gibson to pull through Church.
Yeah, really good exit from Baldwin actually. He's actually managed to gain a bit of time, although it drops down again now despite Hardwick being in the slipstream. They brake for the final chicane. A little bit wide from Baldwin. He hits the curb really, really hard.
Surprised he didn't hit the back of him there, but managed to get away with not hitting him.
An aggressive stance from Baldwin as he comes into turn 1. 0.1 of a second in front of Hardwick. These two guys battling out very, very hard indeed. I think further back, Talbot's made a mistake. He's now dropped 4 seconds behind Hedges. So that's unfortunate for him. We're on board then with Chris Hardwick.
Curb's just compromising his exit there. So see what kind of run he can get into Church. Seems to be better through this corner here, although I say that Baldwin's rather quick.
Heading
what exit you can get for Church. The big long straight breaking point for the chicane. Nice toe you can get.
Yeah, slightly better exit than last time from Hardwick, I think, but I'm not sure if he's going to be close enough this time, although he's gaining.
He's thinking about it.
See the effect of that slipstream. Now, Baldy has to take a really tight line. That's really going to compromise his exit. Oh, do you know what? It almost compromised him too much for Hardwick, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because Hardwick had to get out of it mid-corner.
He had to dip out the throttle, didn't he, really? Runs quite wide there in turn 1. He's done that a couple of times now.
Yeah, it's difficult as well because you've got to be careful. Oh, definitely wide at turn 2.
Yeah.
I think Hardwick needs to reassess and rebuild. He's dropped back a few tenths now.
Sure, that won't be doing the tyres any good either, pushing as hard.
No, I noticed that obviously in our race when we were talking about the 100-metre board that was knocked out. I outbraked myself a couple of times there, like a bit of a muppet, to be fair.
And here's Kirk on clumpers again.
I definitely found that when I was braking to that, I was also turning the wheel.
Right.
So I was really ruining the front left tyre. Yes. So something to watch out for. This is 0.2 of a second between Kirk and Clumpers. Kirk in the Virtually Entertained car. And here he goes, and maybe Kirk can get a good run out of Church. They head down Brooklands and towards the final chicane. Is he close enough? Is he going to go to the inside, outside?
I think he's going to get a good run. Time, see if he can get a run out of the chicane.
Yeah, he's timed as well, I think.
And there it is. Puts it to the inside.
It's quite difficult to get him. Yeah, it's difficult to get it done before turn 1, isn't it? Coming out of there, I think. So here they go again, across the line and towards turn 2.
Slowly catching up on Eccles as well, possibly here.
Yeah, so this pair is about to become a threesome.
Trio, yeah. Kirk really getting close to the back of Clumpers now.
So looking backward from Clumpers' car.
And a slide on as he touched the marbles on the wide entry, but he looks like he could get a better exit here.
Yeah, so Kirk with a good exit then. And they're going into Church now. You can see the bump on the left-hand side.
Nice early turn in by Kirk. This is the run if you can do it.
Yeah, side by side, and plenty of space given between wheels, which is a good plan in these open wheel machines. They head down into the club chicane. Hard on the brakes. This looks like the move from Kirk, and he now can look forward towards his next target, which is Jason Eccles in that yellow car. Further up, does seem like Hardwick's lost a little bit of time. He's 0.8 of a second now behind. It was really, really close before. It was just a tenth of a second.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And it has dropped off somewhat. we'll see if Hardwick can rebuild and retarget Balding. Balding was pretty bullish, saying he was going to be in the post-race interviews again, and thus far it looks like it is the case. And that's someone off the track.
There's a couple there, wasn't there?
Who's that then?
Oh, and there's someone stops on a straight. Who's that?
We'll try and find out who that is. Do you know what? A great run then from Hardwick. Oh, do you know what? He almost had it and had just a little wiggle, and it's popped back up again, that gap. Just to 0.6 of a second. It was down to 0.3. We're going to have a replay for you in a second of someone going on. I'm not sure who it is. See it being queued up in the background, so bear with us, we'll bring that to you. That was the driver that was off on the left hand side a few moments ago.
Still following Hardwick. Not like you say, he makes the gap, closes the gap, and then the gap extends. Sort of good racing between the two of them. Here's the replay. Yeah, runs wide at Church, completely sideways across the track.
Goes playing the fields.
Yeah, a bit of grass cutting.
This is going on forever.
I was going to say, what's the next plan of action here? Oh, and
oh no! Oh. At least he didn't spin in front of them.
Yeah, that would have been a bit tragic.
Yeah. Yeah, easy to do. No traction control allowed, of course. So when you're on the grass, easy to lose control.
Oh, and we said that. Hardwick getting a big slide on out the exit of the chicane.
He is close again now. 0.4 of a second between the two of them. Lap 10 of 20. And half a second between these two drivers. Hard on the brakes into the first of the two chicanes. So Campbell and then Cobb. And then this left-hander at Seagrave. So important you get a good run out of here, otherwise lap time disappears in front of your eyes. There is a delta running on the simulators as well, so you can see exactly how much time you lost if you slightly get it wrong. This is Kirk, yeah.
Catching Eccles. Eccles gone wide there.
I think that was a gift, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a gift, you're right, yeah.
So Kirk then making his way up into 6th place after that accident or incident with Ben Brown early on.
Halfway stage. Will we see Hardwick get Balding by the end of it? It could be an interesting race, I think.
Yeah, so Balding, yeah, he's going a bit defensive. They're really not looking to chase.
It's not easy to get past here, though. I feel it's not simple. Let's put it that way. Against a lot of other UK tracks, I feel that there's a lot of overtaking places, but here it's very tricky. I mean, you've got this braking point here, but it can easily be mistaken, as I did on you in the touring car race.
You did, yeah. Left you a big door just because I could see how late you were braking.
And I just ran into the side of you.
Just want to say hello to Will Murphy, who I can see just joined us on Facebook. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I hope you're alright after your accident you had yesterday.
Yeah, it's so
we have a message from
Shemek says don't go on any ladders again. But no, all seriousness, I hope you feel better soon, Will, and we'll see you back racing soon. Hardwick then just 0.125.
He's gonna go to
He's got a great run, and he's actually got the inside line for the next corner. There's not too much the Balding can do to squeeze. They can go side by side. Oh, great move then around the outside. Oh, hits the curb on the outside, on the exit, sorry. And that might give Balding the opportunity he needs to get a
defensive.
run. Balding slightly offline. He manages to jump back at under 0.16 between the two of them. Balding goes to the outside. How much room is Hardwick going to give him? And I think that was a bit of a mistake there for Balding.
Yeah, way too deep there for Balding.
Very, very keen Balding then to stick around the outside, but unfortunately for him, didn't quite work out. And that moves him down into 3rd place, and our championship leader, Chris Hardwick, into 2nd place. Woodwist, though,
having an easy ride, really.
Yeah, he's been left alone. The two of them have been battling very, very hard. and that's gifted Woodwis a bit of a nice lead. And this is
Eccles,
yeah,
not far behind Kirk. So Kirk,
he hasn't run down the road, has he?
He hasn't ran off as we may have expected, seeing as he come back from the crash at the start.
Yeah, so yeah, good performance from Jason Eccles then. 7th place at the moment. That won't be a bad point score for him.
I'm sure he'll be happy with that result, really, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. We can't see any evidence that Michael Balding is able to keep up with Chris Hardwick now that he's gone through.
It's
the gap
like that gap is extending quite a lot, really.
Yeah, it's now up to 1.3 seconds. You can see on the left-hand side in your overlay.
It may be the case.
Oh no, we were just talking about how well Jason Eccles did. You know what, he did well to save that.
He did well, yeah, absolutely. I think it's maybe the case of see how well Chris can push on to the back of Woodwis now, maybe.
Maybe let's have a
2-second gap, 20 lap race, we're in lap 13. It's going to be a hard task for him, but 2 seconds, it's possible.
Yeah, let's have a look at some lap times. I am not on the live lap times, bear with me. I'd like to see how well Chris is doing in comparison to Woodwis. Woodwis hasn't really been pushing F2000 too hard. He's managed to get away at the front and not have too many battles.
He's not needed to, really, though, has he? If you're
no,
out in the lead with a good gap.
You would definitely, if you were him, you would be looking to make the most of clear air and look after your tyres. Gap is currently
going down.
1.7, yeah.
Yes,
so last time round then 1:13.4 for Chris Hardwick. Woodwis 1:14.1, so 0.7 of a second. So by that reckoning, in 2 laps time, we should see a battle for the lead between these two.
Yeah.
So whilst we wait that for bated breath, let's have a quick rundown of the positions at the moment. Woodwis leads by 1.5 seconds in front of Hardwick. That's a nice shot, I like that. That's through the left-hander at Noble. It's quite nice to see the back.
That's good cheating there. You quick
No,
Google
I know,
search
I just know it off the top of my head. I don't have a map. Nice to see the back end of Thruxton. So Woodwis leads Hardwick, Balding in 3rd. 4th place Hedges, 5th Talbot.
I think that's
who's that off?
Wilkinson off again, is it?
I
In
think
similar area at Church.
I think you're right, yeah. It's quite far down the
yeah, T-lap stands. We're struggling to get to grips with the FC1000 by looks of things.
so sorry, just carrying on. Kirk in 6th place. He's now got a bit of a gap to Talbot, so probably too much work to do from there. Eccles in 7th. Ben Brown is now starting to get quite close to Eccles. That'll be a race for 7th place. Clumper's in 9th. Ranshaw, sorry, in 10th place, and Wilkinson in 11th. So
we're currently watching Chris Hardwick. I'm not sure if we can see Woodwis in the distance yet.
So this is Ben Brown. We're just saying he was getting close to Jason Eccles. Gap is now 0.3 of a second, and Ben Brown heads through that corner. He had a bit of a run-in with Kirk.
Yeah, put him right down the order, didn't it? I mean, he has slowly clawed back.
It's been a story of recovery drives for Ben Brown today.
Yeah.
He's always done well. He's actually got the pace, and he's done well to gain a few championship points back. They head round towards our favourite corner, Church. It's just that little dip at Church.
Yeah.
Makes you think twice, I think.
It just turns in the car more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as you hit it in. So if you
It's
turn
almost
in
like
too
Pommel.
early. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
At Snetterton. And round the outside, sideways eye contact between Ben Brown and Jason Eccles.
Ben had to duck out of that one.
They managed to both escape relatively scot-free. At the front, just so we're all aware, Hardwick hasn't managed to keep up the pressure just yet. I think Woodwis has put up the pace.
Yeah, I think he's spotted the gap crawling down and he's put the power down a little bit more.
So last time round 1:13.5 for Woodwiss, 1:13.5 for Hardwick, and round the outside goes Ben Brown. What a fantastic move that is. He goes on the grippier outside line where all the rubber is on the track and takes the place. So Ben Brown up into 7th place. Good recovery drive from him. I'm sure he's hoping that he doesn't have to do any more recovering going forward, but at least he knows he can pull it out of the bag, and he gets on slightly onto the grass. And does that open up the... It does.
It does,
oh,
yeah.
He's going to have to do it again now, so maybe he's just putting on a show.
Yeah, he wants some footage, doesn't he?
He's got to show the sponsors. To show the sponsors. And they head into the club chicane.
On the outside.
Outside, yeah. Hard on the brakes, who's latest? Ben Brown goes late. Eccles goes late. Not too much curb for either of them.
Is he going to get the run?
Ooh. Just a little tap, but it was a good run out from Ben Brown.
Rather defensive from Eccles, which is just...
Oh, I think Eccles took too much curb there.
Well, it's just too defensive as well. Defensive line making it tighter for him. Just making the corner a lot slower than what Ben Brown is expecting to be.
Oh, of course, the other consequence of being too defensive means your angles are tighter, which means your tyres wear harder and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. I think it's more of a drive in the mirrors from Eccles than driving forwards really here by the looks of things. He's keeping them off for now. Got 3 laps to do it. If he can hold on, just find out. All down here, all down to the run. He can get out of church. Looks like this big slide from Eccles. Goes to the outside, Ben Brown. I think he's going to be able to get the overlap by the time he gets to the corner. Can he cut in? Yes, he does. Nicely done.
Yeah, good job from Brown as he makes his way past. And barring no more slight wheels on the grass, he's secured 7th place.
Another close battle is Ranshaw catching clumpers for 9th place.
That is, yeah, absolutely.
Eccles.
The other thing to watch out for is this is Ranshaw actually. Hardwick's now got the gap down to 1.1 seconds. So last time around 1:13.7 for Woodwiss, 1:13.2 for Hardwick.
And 2 laps to do it. It's tough. That's too
tall
tough.
order.
That is a tall order, correct.
We'll keep an eye. It's under a second now. If you have a look in the top left-hand corner. Ooh, sideways.
Ranshaw and Clumpers.
I don't think they touched.
I don't think so either. And that's Chris Hardwick.
There is that
trying to filter through. Managed to do so.
So they're lapping those guys.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So there's lots of traffic going on for the leaders. That makes it even more interesting as we're on the penultimate lap of the race. It's under a second between the top 2 drivers. Woodwiss in the white car leading this blue 130 Racing car of Hardwick, our championship leader, chasing down. And in the background there goes Clumpers. I think he's had an accident.
He's had a boo-boo there, hasn't he?
And once you get those tyres hot, it does make it much more difficult going forward. And this is Hardwick. Ooh, big sideways moment for Hardwick.
Compromised that chance for a battle, now. Really, hasn't it?
It's a shame. Unless something dramatic happens to Woodwiss, I think we're going to struggle to see a change of lead on the final lap. 1.7 seconds as they come out and across the line to start the final lap of this race. We'll do a lap on board with Chris Hardwick as we attempt to gain 1.4 seconds on the final lap of this Thruxton circuit. It's quite nice to go on board and just appreciate how fast this track is. Braking around 100 metres down into second gear, right-hander. Try and stay on the racing line, otherwise you get all those marbles and lots of understeer. 1.3 seconds, we've gained a 10th.
Is it enough?
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. And through the left-hander, not too much curb in these cars, but you'll see the touring cars in a minute take much more curb, down to 1.1 seconds. Lots of
a back marker as well. Oh, I say that he's out the way.
I think he was scared out the way.
Yeah,
race control went over the microphone to get out of the way, and he sped off. As they come through Church then, the fast right-hander, onto the final straight. Ooh,
Is that a bit of weaving? Or?
I'm not sure if that's weaving or a wobble, but I think it's weaving. And we're about to see Scott Wilderbis win back-to-back.
Nice and
races.
clean by Scott, just to get it through.
Taking it nice and slow, lost a few tenths, but it doesn't matter.
Still won the race.
Yeah, he comes across the line. Congratulations to Scott Wilderbis, taking his second victory of the day in the F2000 class. Hardwick comes home in second. Michael Balding is going to come home third after a valiant effort trying to defend from the very fast Hardwick. Hedges comes home fourth, Talbot in fifth, Kirk in sixth, Brown will be seventh. And we will then have Eccles, Ranshaw, Clumpers and Wilkinson. We are going to take a quick break and then we're going to talk to the top three from the last race, and then we will kick on.
Finished yet?
Well, that's true. Most of them have finished. But then we're going to kick on with the final race of the day from the Touring Car Championship, in which Jack and I will go head-to-head and I will probably win.
Yep.
Yes. It's clearly not happening.
I just said yeah. Where are you starting?
I'm starting 7th.
I'm starting 5th, so there we go.
You go send it, right? That's what you did to me.
That's what you did to me. That's what you do every lap.
Yeah, send it with full lock,
yeah.
ruined tyres. So we're going to take a quick break. I forgot that's what I said. We're going to take a quick break. Be back very, very shortly. So welcome back. I'm joined by Michael Balding.
Hello.
Hello. You said you
I
said
said
you
I'd be back.
you did say you'd be back. Third place.
Yeah,
Happy?
with that. Very, very. I wanted to win it, but wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be. Didn't have the pace to keep Chris Hardwick behind me once he finally got used to this track today.
He was quick, wasn't he?
Very, very.
I think he set the fastest lap of the
Really.
the race as well.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
No, he's a super solid driver, isn't he?
Excellent driver. Very much, very much.
Very smooth.
I
Best.
get a little jealous.
Do you know what? He didn't actually. Scott Woodward
No,
did actually.
Woodward's-
113.0.
Okay.
But certainly 113.2, 113.3 for yourself. You three were
Just the best
certainly
I've
the top of the field on that one. Got away relatively well, I think.
Cleanly this time, yeah.
Yeah, and when we went
Yeah.
to the outside and at the inside
That's
of
right.
into turn
That's
2.
right.
So that worked out well for you, and then it was
It
just
did.
a game of seeing if
Keeping
whether
up
you
with
could
Woodward.
catch Woodwist.
Yeah.
But then I think when Hardwick
Once
appeared,
Hardwick got behind me, that was it. I was more focused on him.
yeah.
It's just the way
And
it
then
is
it
with
was,
him, I'm
it was a
afraid.
bit a bit of a gift for Woodwist in the F2000.
Yeah, I know. Next round.
Next round. Next
I'll do
round.
it. Next round.
You are doing the next round.
Oh,
Your
definitely.
first round at the
I
SRBC.
only missed the first round.
Right,
I did
sorry.
round 2.
You did do
round
last
3.
week, didn't you? Yeah.
I did last month.
Dave, this is Dave's first round. Your teammate's
Dave's first round,
That's
yeah.
right.
But we're not
Yeah.
teams, are we? Which is
No,
a shame.
that's true.
Which
But
is a shame.
you still look the same.
Awesome.
You still look the same.
But that was good. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, as usual.
Yeah, we
I
did
recommend it to anybody.
Plug. Here's your money. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Nice to see some good battles in the F2000 category. And Thruxton itself, Thruxton for me, probably one of the best ones we've done in the British Championship for these cars.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Interesting to see how they cope at Alton Park
Yes.
next time.
Oh yes, island version as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
with that, very, very tight chicane.
and very
Look forward to that one.
very different style.
Yeah.
Less
I
about
find it
momentum.
more of a racer's track.
Yep.
Rather than trying to be very subtle through slight bends.
Don't
and costing
try not to
yourselves a
scrub off
second
too
of
much
time.
speed. And
No, that's it.
yeah,
That's
that's
it. Really looking forward
yeah,
to it.
very good. So lots of points earned from you today. So hopefully that'll push you up the standings a
I
little
hope
bit.
that's put me up the standings, and hopefully I get to take home some silverware again today.
Yes,
we'll
it
see.
won't-
I haven't
well,
worked it out yet.
I imagine so. You had a second and a third. Is that
Second
right?
and a third, yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm pretty certain.
If
you'll be
Woodward's
taking
coming
something.
first both times, I should be second behind him, I think.
Yeah, depends on. Yeah, no, that would make sense.
Yeah.
To me, but
Cool.
we'll see. Brilliant, very well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's have a quick chat with Chris Hardwick, if we can. He's disappeared. Sorry, I'm itching my nose. I've got a bit of hay fever. It's all hay fever around here. This is the conversation piece. There's the microphone. You finally got on top of this track, I think.
It's taken all day.
Yes. It was
Yeah.
quick.
It's that pace at the on that second race was relentless. I'm absolutely shattered.
Really.
So tired. Yeah.
We did a great job of getting past Michael Balding. He made it difficult for you.
Yeah. But the lap times were so similar. It was the only way was getting a good run out of that. The back end of the track, and I think once I got that close, I was like, if it's not now, it's going to be.
He's never.
Yeah. So I just had to, and he's such a good fair racer, so it was absolutely fine. He gave me plenty of room. It was a bit squirmy, but. And then the gap to Scott came down loads in the first
did.
couple of laps. I thought it's
Hang
on,
on.
and then he sped up.
He did. Yeah, he started responding with
Yeah.
13s as well.
Yeah, and then but it was take second place rather than try and push for.
There was a moment we thought you got 2 laps and you were doing half a second a lap faster. Maybe you'll be somewhere there or thereabouts at the end.
Yeah.
You had a little wiggle.
It was that dreaded veering off to the left at the
Yes.
back straight, and because I did that in the first race and spun it.
Right.
So
yes.
I was being cautious all the time, sort of lifting off, and then I sort of saw it kind of unfold in front of me. I thought, oh, no, not again. But like I just got the tyre on the edge, but it was okay.
Yeah.
But once that half a second had gone, it was like, well, I'll take
Just
second.
take it home.
I'll take second.
Keep the points up and
But that was
keep on top of the
absolutely
championship.
relentless. That pace was ridiculous. Because I was struggling so much. Qualified 8th for that first race.
Yeah.
But obviously, the more laps you do, the easier it becomes. And
Easier
suddenly,
it
kind of
gets,
clicked. That second race just clicked. And
You got used to the rhythm of the circuit and
Yeah.
you know, where
worked out where the bits that were catching me out. So I was sort of able to once I knew where they were, and it wasn't a surprise anymore.
Yeah.
Just one scary moment with a back marker where I sort of ran over an advertising board that had been destroyed.
Yeah, was that on the last corner?
Yeah. So I saw him go off, and I was thinking, please, because there was smoke, I was like, please don't be facing the wrong way and coming back on the track. So
I remember being at Thruxton a few years back to watch Mike Epps.
Yeah.
And it was his first time there in the events, his touring cars. And there was a massive, massive crash in front of him. There was about 5 or 6 people facing the wrong way. Just go, oh god, this is going to be really expensive.
Yeah.
Just to get away with it. It was, but yeah, no, some people had serious amounts of damage. It was all just a one person pulling in front of another person.
Yeah.
It was, you can have some really big accidents at Thruxton.
Yeah.
Especially when there's smoke in the way.
Yeah, that chicane, I kept hitting those curbs in the end chicane. I was getting really angry with myself because I knew don't hit them because you're all over the shop. But I just kept running over them. I kept going, oh, not again. So who knows, if I'd have driven properly in that chicane, it might have been different. Who knows? But the second is wicked. I'm
happy.
Chuffed with that, yeah, very chuffed.
So I think you may well have extended it. It's hard to tell at the moment. Your lead at the
so we need
top.
to do the math.
Yes, we need to do the math. We may well also taken home a trophy, but we don't know until we do the presentation later on. So, but yeah, very well done. Yeah, keep you here for the next half an hour whilst we watch the touring cars.
Sure.
The touring cars are almost there, I think. So if we can grab Mr. Woodwiss for a very quick word, and therefore I will go and race myself and probably win. That's probably a bit of a lie. Been close to the mid backfield most of the day. Mr. Woodwiss, you like these cars?
I do, very much, clearly. Yeah, very happy with that. That was 20 of the most nervous sim race laps I've done in sim racing.
How are your hands? I get cramp and sweaty.
There was a bit of that. No, just clean start, managed to pull a nice little gap, and then it was really a case of just trying to keep consistent, and I was just had one arm on mirrors and watching the guys behind, and I was just doing consistent mid-13s. Worrying a little bit about my left front, and yeah, the only thing which kind of bit of a scare at the end when I had to get past 2 back markers. And the back marker front, because I was sort of sat there going, why aren't you backing off? You're in this blue flag. And also he spins. I'm like, no, don't spin there. But no, that's awesome.
It all went okay in the end.
All went okay, and I think along with the Thrustmaster 24 hours, in terms of individual, I think that's my first individual piece of silverware, which I'm really.
Well, if you've won both, you're guaranteed something.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the biggest one. So
cool.
yeah, really, really great. And we've now got one more race to go.
Yes.
Where are you starting on the grid?
I don't know. Someone said. I think Lewis said to me I might be starting.
Yeah, you are on pole.
Oh god.
You got the reverse. You got the reverse grid. So
I won't stay there.
So I'll see you at turn 1 backwards, shall I? We'll see.
And you're the one supposed to be endorsing clean driving standards.
Well, I'm not endorsing. I'm not doing anything. I got the fastest.
You insinuate you're going to go backwards into Campbell, Cobb, and Seagrave.
Sorry. Well, yeah, okay. Well, I didn't realise this. You can't see this at home probably, but I was the fastest in the last race.
Right.
So I'm going to win, probably.
I just made it. I reckon I just made a hash in my left front tyre. That's why I went off and dropped to about 6th on my last lap. So I probably do more of the same. Be up there for the first half, and then just fade away.
We have to go race now. So final race today.
Hello. Apparently I'm back live. Right, we've got the final race of today. The reverse grid for the touring cars. So I've got the grid here. On pole position is going to be Scott Woodwiss. Second place, well, Scott's going to have 33 kilos of extra ballast on board.
Chris Wilson second with 38 kilos, Steve Boyce third, 48, Matt Goodger-Scott fourth with 57, Jack Ashton fifth with 66 alongside Lewis Manley sixth with 75 kilos. Now it'll be really interesting to see if Lewis can get 3 out of 3 today. He has been the man on form, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure we're going to see them come flying through the grid. 7th is Ben Turner, 27 kilos. 8th, Shamek Gladak with 21 kilos. 9th, Conor Hamilton, 15 kilos. 10th, Sean King with 9 kilos. Then we've got Colin Talbot in 11th, Dave Hedges in 12th, and Johnny Wilkinson on last again. So, let's see how this race shapes out. Hopefully, we shall have a nice clean turn 1, something you haven't seen in every race today. Touring car races notoriously are a bit excitable in race 3 when you've got fast guys in the middle of the field coming through, and the quick guys obviously wanting to make those places up. Some perhaps slightly slower chaps in front, but with the reverse grid, it's not like they are. It's not a full reverse grid. It's only the top 6 this time that are reversed. So we're just focused on Jack Ashton at the moment. You see Lewis Manley in the red car. They're the two we're going to be watching out for. They are championship leaders. Well, Jack's championship leader, Lewis is second, but Lewis has taken big chunks out of Jack's championship lead today. Just in the background, you see Ben Turner in the green Virtually Entertained Avensis with Shamek Gladak just behind. It's interesting to see how they can get on. And then we've got some of the guys towards the back of the grid. Conor Hamilton in a BTC Rawlin car. Sean King in that striking green and black Chevrolet Cruze. And then we've got the plain white BMW of Dave Hedges, who's just jumped in for this round. And yeah, the Johnny Wilkinson, who's right in the back of the pack. So they're just coming around. You can see a bit of weaving. It's a little bit unnecessary in these cars. You can heat the tyres up more by just dragging the brake. I think that's why we end up seeing cars spinning off hilariously on pace laps. But as they come round, you see them try and do a burnout. You just need to get on the grid really. The tyres will heat up quick enough around Thruxton anyway on the back of the track. It's just that very first corner. Now we've got the world's shakiest camera. I think that's a bit wind affected. But they're all lining up now. At some point we will see the green flag get raised, and then when it drops we will go for the final race of the day. As I said, we're expecting Jack Ashton and Lewis Manley to come through from 5th, 6th place. Interesting to see how some of the others get on. Matt Goodger-Scott had a brilliant podium earlier. Benefited from everyone else falling off the track in front of him. But he was quick. He kept it together, and the green flag's waving, and they go. And it all seems pretty good at the moment. Chris Wilson's had a good start. They're 3 abreast, and you can see Jack Ashton's been a little bit of contact, but both him and Lewis seem to be through fine. It's a bit of bunching, and yep, that's a car off. But I don't think that was Ben Turner's fault. Let's just see how this shapes out. But yes, the 2 drivers that we want to keep an eye on, Lewis Manley and Jack Ashton, both through that relatively unscathed, which is good. We've got a battle here of Steve Boyce and Chris Wilson, and side by side. And Wilson gets the back end out but holds it nicely. And he's taken a very shallow line there, and you can see Manley getting right behind him, getting the toe. A beautiful camera shot as they go through there. As they go through Church, Wilson's on the outside, Boyce is through, Ashton's getting alongside as well. I think he's been quite clever here. He's just following Lewis through, thinking that Lewis is getting through. And Sean King's making it 3 wide, but you can see him very sensibly just tapping the brakes there just to get out of it. There's a little bit of loading there from Ashton onto the back of Manley, but they're both through, both past Wilson and up to 3rd and 4th place respectively. So next is Steve Boyce on the road. See how quickly they can dispatch him, and whether or not it looks like Woodwist has got a little bit of a jump on everybody, and starting in pole position definitely helps if you can keep out of any trouble. And we've already seen today, just looking at the lap times, that you lose so much time battling. But Ashton's looking very racy on the back of Manley. He does not want Manley to get 3 out of 3 and wants to get a win himself. Obviously Lewis wants to get 3 out of 3, and from chatting to him earlier in the day, he seems quite convinced he can do it. He gets a little bit sideways there, and you can just see that's cost him a bit of momentum, and Ashton's just alongside. But I think when they go through Church, you see Lewis just tapping the brake there, being sensible, making sure he gets around the corner, doesn't run wide, and Ashton is through. So here we go, here's a replay of what happened at the start. So this is from Shannon Roddick. You see a little bit of bunching here, Jack being pushed into the pit wall a little bit. Then as they come across, you've got a Blodek sandwich. I think you've seen Ben on one side, and then it's just ever so slightly touched Goodyear Scott, and it's very reminiscent of the accident that we saw at Alton Park in race 3 last weekend. So just the cars bunching together. It's not really anybody's fault there, but you've just got to be aware of what's going on. Oh, we can hear there's screaming in the background. I'm not sure who that is, but the gap at the front is down to less than a second. So Boyce is gaining on Woodwiss, and then you've got Ashton hunting him down as well. Only 0.4 of a second behind at the moment. I think the car that's dropped out the run-in, Sean King, who's down to 13th place in this race. I think Wilkinson's having his best run of the day in 8th place at the moment. So let's see how long he can hold on to that for. There's nice tight packs of cars going round, so let's see Ashton whether or not he can get up the inside of Boyce. I think Jack's, from his race earlier, I think he learnt a lot, and Boyce has just made a mistake there, cut the corner. I think Ashton had to cut over the thing, so he might get a warning for that, but I think he would have had to have done that to avoid any contact, because you can see Boyce's car sort of turning across the track, and now Boyce is in front of Manley, and Manley's going to want to get through as quickly as possible. He doesn't want Ashton to get too much of an advantage over him, because it's going to be really hard to claw that back. We've got 1.6 seconds between the leaders at the moment. We can hear race control telling someone, I think it's Jack, giving him a warning for thing, and you can hear him shouting that he was trying to avoid a car. And I think that's what we saw as well. There's not really anywhere Jack could have gone. Obviously, here you can see that he's moving to across the track. And Steve Boyce had cut the corner as well. But Ashton is right behind Woodwiss. He's gone to the outside. He's got to be careful here. I think he's a bit aware that Woodwiss does like a bit of a squeeze. And he doesn't want to go up the inside, because we've seen already today that cars are being pushed off there. So he's just sat behind, and that's Hambleton in the background, just straight on into the wall. So Ashton looks like he's got up the inside. Nope, he's just backed off. I think he's going to try and send it into turn the complex, which is probably the safer place to do it. You can see that car moving round. So he moves to the inside. He's getting squeezed again. Come on, it's not really on here. If you can see a car's got to run, you've got to give him a bit of space. You can't just keep slamming the door. That's how these accidents happen. So Ashton pushing on. He's not going to let that phase him. You can see in the background Manley's flashing his lights. He wants to get past Boyce, and I think that's going to be done pretty quickly. There's a bit of a cork in the bottle here. But considering Ashton's carrying a lot more weight, as is Manley, they're doing well to keep up here. So here's a replay of, what is it? It's is that Woodwiss going off the track again? That's not how you win races. So that's why Jack is right up on the back of him. Is this live? No, this is just a replay. Okay, right. So here we are. Again, really close at the front, and Ashton's got a good run out of that corner. Sort of moves to the inside. He's definitely there as they go into turn 1. And Woodwiss has binned it. So he is out of there. Boyce into second place, Manley into third. So come on, can Lewis Manley get 3 out of 3? This is what we want to see. Can he be the first person to win 3 touring car races on one day. He's only 1.5 seconds behind Ashton, so if he can get past Boyce pretty quickly, I could imagine him catching right up onto the back of Ashton, and we'll see how that goes. He's flashing his lights. You can see he wants this. He wants to get 3 out of 3. And I think a lot of us here want to see him do it, despite Jack being my teammate. Sorry, Jack. We all want to see a good battle. So Lewis gets in the slipstream. He's looking a little bit, but he knows that he doesn't need to. As long as he can keep within sight of Ashton, he doesn't have to make any rash decisions. This is a 20-lap race, and they are on lap 6. And we saw earlier how cars made mistakes later on. They come up towards the complex. We saw that 100-metre board's been taken out, and Manley makes the move. Has he made it stick? He's gone a little bit deep, and Boyce just goes back round the outside on the undercut. I think that's going to catch a lot of the drivers out, that board not being there. That was removed in the turn 1 collision. So let's have a look at some of the lap times. Let's see who's making places, who's dropping them. Got a battle here, Goodyear Scott and Turner. Only 4 tenths between them. So, Goodyear Scott in that, is it gold, yellow, white and black Focus against the green and black Avensi of Turner. So the Cam Sport car against the Virtually Entertained car. You can see Johnny Wilkinson is flashing his lights. I'm not quite sure who that's to. But Turner goes defensive, Goodyear Scott takes the wider line. And here we go. Manley's looking close, but you can see Jack's stretched that lead out to 2.7 seconds. Manley goes for it again. Just trying to position his car to scare Boyce offline. He's got a good run here out onto the fastest part of the circuit. It's all about maintaining momentum as they go around here. See, he's right on that bumper. This is one of the, well, this is the battle to watch. But at the same time, look, Boyce is just holding Manley up, and Ashton's scampering away to 3.2 second lead at the moment. Just see him in the background driving off. Will Manley try something with chicane? He's definitely in the slipstream. He's catching. Boyce has parked his car nicely in the middle of the road. No way through this time. But he's missed the apex there. He's going to be vulnerable. Manley gets a good run. Again, right onto that rear bumper. And here we go. Are we going to sit again into the complex? Going to be able to make. Has a look. There's a little bit of side-by-side contact, but I think that's a pretty fair move there. And Wilson's right on the back of Boyce now. So Manley, 4.5 seconds. I think it's perhaps a bit too much now to expect him to be able to get that 3 out of 3 unless Ashton makes a mistake. So is this a replay of Turner doing a bit of two-wheeling through there? Certainly looks pretty nice. Not sure it's the quickest way though, Ben. But we'll allow it. So instantly you can see Manley starting to drive off, but I think it might just be a little bit too late. So quickest driver. Let's have a look. Got a few guys in the 113s. Last lap rounds, I'm just going to wait till it updates and then we can pick out. Ashton did a 14.0, Manley a 14.6. Bit further down, Goodyear Scott's looking quick, 14.4. sure. That's Connor Hamilton. Obviously got a bit of pace. So the gap's stretching between Manley and the guys behind. We're focused on Goodyear Scott, trying to get one over on Turner. Turner looks a little bit wide there, but I think that's to try and conserve his tyres. Go a little bit wider on the way in, straighten the wheel up, get a better drive out. The Cam Sport car goes back through as they go through Church. Turner, a bit of inside curb there, and he has run wide. I thought he might have turned in a little bit too early, but he seems to have kept it on the track, which is the important thing. He needs quite a bit of time run once that curb. Then they go through the chicane. This is lap 11 now. They're halfway through this race. Some of them are going to be suffering with tyres. Got a green lap from, who's that? That's Steve Boyce. So he's quickest that time round. Got a personal PB in sector 3 for Shamek Brodek of the race, sorry. So he's just set a quick sector 3 time of a 24.2. That gap at the front, last lap rounds, Ashton did a 1:14.605, whereas Manning did a 1:14.627, so they are so evenly matched on the road. Just going back to YouTube, Andrew Whitenberg, no penalties for the first race, plenty of contact. I'm assuming you're talking about the Clios there. I don't know, race control deal with that. We're just here broadcasting. I do know that all the Clear Cup drivers got a very stern talking to earlier for the amount of contact, and their second race was much better. So let's see who's on Facebook as we watch this. A bit of commotion in the background. Let's see what's going on there. Sort of calming down a little bit. You'd probably say Woodwiss Wilkinson is the best battle on track at the moment. Just going to check the Facebook comments. Is it R Factor 2, Ollie Creswell? I'm sure someone's probably told you by now, but yes it is. Johnny Ashley, that was awful on Ben Brown. I'm guessing we're talking about the Clio roll. And not the lack of space given in the F2000 race. But here we go. Wilkinson's flashing his headlights, trying to put Woodwiss off. Whether or not that will work. This is the best showing we've seen all day from Wilkinson, I think. A lot of curb there. If race control don't have a word, I'm not sure. Still flashes headlights though. Go through the complex. The gap is shrinking slightly. It's only 0.4 of a second at the moment. A lot more curb there from Wilkinson, but he's had quite a good run out onto this back straight. And again, he's flashing his lights. Don't see him doing that in the Ginettas that often. Well, they don't really have headlights, do they? They tend to break the front end. So, tight line there from Wilkinson. A lot of smoke there from the back of Woodwiss, but he's got a good run. I wouldn't be surprised. Look, yep, he's scarred up the inside as they go into Church. And he's taken the position. So let's see how this plays out as they go. We can hear some shouting in the background. Sounds like Woodwiss isn't very happy. He's getting a little bit of a door closed, but as we've seen, he does like to do that himself to other people. So you kind of got to expect it back a little bit. But Wilkinson's through. He's on his way, so let's have a look. So you can see there's not really a lot of space given there. See whether race control decide to say anything about that. But it has given Wilkinson the upper hand. Although Wilkinson's driven off the track. That is not ideal, especially onto the fast part of the circuit. I think we're going to see this gap rapidly decrease. We might end up seeing a repeat of that. Come on guys, keep it on the track, focus. Turner's probably sat behind, looking ahead going, there's going to be an incident, it's going to be between these two. So he's just focusing on his lines. Good Scott just behind. And we're on board with Turner at the moment. So, tight line there from Turner. Nice little bit of curb. Quite a bit there. I'm not sure how much you can get away with taking. You know, with the F2000 cars, couldn't really get away with it. And yes, this is our Facts 2 for everyone that keeps asking. So, if you live close to the Milton Keynes area, or even if you don't live close to the Milton Keynes area, once a month we do the British Championship. Every couple of months we do the Endurance Championship. So if you fancy it, come on down. There's a couple of spaces left in the British Championship and a couple of team spaces left in Endurance. The next round of the British Championship is going to be at Alton Park. Again, we'll have the Clios, the F2000 and these touring cars. The next round of the Endurance Championship, which is in September, is going to be the 12 Hours of Estoril. So if you fancy getting a team together and you think that you can cause an upset, come down, want to have a good day of it, then have a look on the website, simplyrace.co.uk/SRES or /SRBC for this championship. See all the stand-ins, see how to sign up, how to get involved, and when all the rounds are. So, Wilkinson still flashing those lights. Starting to catch onto the back of Wilson. Wilson's done well today. I think he's had a little bit of misfortune in the past, but I think Wilson does travel quite a distance to come to these. And he is improving race after race, mixing it up with the top 5, 6. Let's see where he is in the standings. Although I think someone's walked off with my paperwork. So let's have a look. Oh, there's a car off in the background on its way to Portsmouth. I think that was Woodwis. Yes, and Turner's now on in. And he's gone off again. So Turner takes 6th place. So let's look at the championship standings. Wilson is 4th in the standings, so I thought he was doing quite well. So first is Jack Ashton, who is 5 seconds ahead of Manley. At the moment, he's first. Oh, here we go. I think we might be getting a replay in a second. So Ashton will take 3 points out of the deficit of what Manley's taken out of him today. So these two are definitely going to be the two guys fighting at the end. So Mark Winwood's not very well today. He's going to drop out 2nd place in the standings, which Lewis will comfortably take. Chris Wilson, I think, from his performances today, is going to jump to 3rd. Matt Goodger-Scott's currently 5th in the standings. He's had an up and down day. I think 2 of the races haven't been quite as positive as what he would like, and then the last race was spot on. You can see Wilson's car lighting up as Wilkinson's found the light button. So clearly, I think he spent the rest of the day pushing every other button on the steering wheel, and for the touring cars he's found what the lights do. But a much better showing than any of the other races from him today. But he's still spamming that light button. It doesn't make you go faster, just to let you into a little secret. But Ashton, lap 18, 5-second lead. Manley, I think he just got held up too much at the start. But a solid second place. We knew it was going to be, well, if it stays as it is, to give a commentator's curse, we knew it was going to be these two, first and second. We just didn't know which way around it was. And Ashton was a little bit more decisive at the start, got past Boyce into, and then could take the leads, whereas Manley took a couple of laps longer, and I don't think he's quite got enough to catch up. Boyce, good job in third. I think he'll be pleased with that. He's had a solid performance today. I think he's had 2 third places. I know we had him up here at the start. And here we go. There's a bit of rubbing as they go through. That's Wilkinson on Wilson. Now is Wilson going to spam the lights back? Turner, you just see him in the background. Solid 6th place. I think he'll be quite happy with that. I'll say Wilkinson, he's taken a lot of curb. He always seems to struggle to get out onto this straight, which I think is going to give Wilson a run. The door's firmly shut there, so he's moved across once, and he's squeezed him. I think race control might have to have a little bit of a look at this, because you don't want to be doing this round the back of the cross. You can see Chris Wilson had to jump on the brakes to avoid an incident. If he'd have kept his foot in it, they both would have been off. Wilson, just biding his time. There's a lot of smoke there, so it's just going to slow you down. Here we go, flashing his lights. I can do it too. So let's see what happens down here. He's too far back this time, but if you can get a good run out of the corner. Again, a lot of curb from Wilkinson. Nice and smooth from Wilson. And Wilkinson's got 2 wheels on the cross down the straight. That's not going to help. It's going to compromise his exit. Cost him a couple of tenths up into the complex. So let's see. Getting quite a bit of curb there. Wilson takes the same amount, so it's probably, that was a lot of curb. I don't know what race control are doing. I can hear some sort of announcement going out about thing, and he's driven off the track. So into the fast part of the track. Right, so Wilson, there's something that's going on with race control. We are on the last lap. We'll probably keep one eye on this. I can see in the corner of my eye, this is Ashton coming round to finish. Wilson is still behind Wilkinson. I don't think he's going to make a move, but yeah, great victory there for Ashton. Solid second place to Lewis Manley, only 2-point-something seconds at the end. Boyce solid 3rd place as well. Wilkinson 4th, 5th Wilson, 6th Turner, 7th Woodwiss, 8th Glodek, 9th Talbot, 10th Goodyear Scott. Nope, Goodyear Scott's jumped up to 9th in front of Talbot. I don't know if they've just swapped position at the end. What happened there? Hedges will cross the line 11th. King, I can see his car in the pit lane, so he's going to finish 12th. And Hamilton, I think, retired early on, 8 laps down. So, it's quite an eventful race. That covers all the racing for today. I think we might have a little chat with a few of the guys, or we might just go straight to the podium whilst race control sort it out. The results at the moment, they are provisional. Obviously we'll wait for... Yeah, we've got a few non-fastest laps there. Not sure what's happened there. But, yes, the results at the moment will remain provisional until race control work it out. All the guys have finished. All just coming back round to the pit lane. And I believe we'll take a quick break now, and then we'll come back for the podium ceremony.
it's got to be the wire then. Right, check. Are you getting... No. It's peaking on this. There we go. Hello. Right. Sorry. This way around, yep. Yeah, so we're going to improvise and use the headset mic, but time for the presentation for today's Simply Race British Championships. We're going to start off with the F2000 category, and in third place today, with 28 points, just one more than fourth place, was Dave Hedges. So give Dave Hedges a round of applause. In second place was Michael Balding. And your overall race winner, double race winner in fact, Scott Woodwis. So we're just going to get a quick picture of these guys and see them on the screen at the moment, then we'll move on to the Clio Cup category. Okay, so for the Clio Cup category there was actually a tie for second. Both drivers had the same results, so we went down to fastest race lap. So in third place today, big round of applause to Dean Prescott, please. Just 1/10 of a second away from having second place. In second place, again just pipping Dean by 1/10 of a second, and when we went down to fastest race lap, was John Curry. And our double race winner, who I believe has had to pop off, but has a delegated... Okay, no, fine, we'll just have our race director Michael. It was Francis Harrold, so Francis Harrold was your race winner in the Clio Cup category. So very well done to all the Clio Cup drivers. And we move on to the final race results for the day. In third place overall after 3 rounds of racing, round of applause to Mr. Steve Boyce. And I think this is Steve's first piece of silverware from Simply Race, so that's a big round of applause to him. In second place today with 48 points was Jack Ashton. And our overall round winner with 2 race wins, 57 points, was Lewis Manley. So very good, very well done to all these guys on the podium, the other podium drivers and everyone else that participated in today's racing. We had some fantastic and very action-filled racing throughout, speaking myself as a participant as well as a commentator. Thank you very much to anyone who's watching the live stream. Thank you for anyone who's watching the live stream back after the time. Lewis is just going to walk in front of the camera. We'll see you at the next round, which is at Alton Park. There we go. So